Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Speak the Truth podcast. I'm your host, Matt Tardio. And if you couldn't tell by the name of the episode, it's called Today, I Am Ashamed to Be an American. And you guys know me, I'm a pretty patriotic guy. I tend to love this country. That doesn't mean I love to be associated with a bunch of the idiots that we have inside of the United States of America right now. For the first time in history, I believe, we had an actual member of Congress trying to submit an AI photograph blown up on a massive billboard for everybody to see. He should have been able to see it himself, but no, he wanted to submit that one. We've got people being paraded around the streets, being used as cannon fodder. We are calling for the death of our own elected officials by other elected officials. It's mind-numbing to me. Absolutely mind-numbing to me. And then, we had, 2 weeks ago? I don't even know, however long ago it was when the freaking woke white woman decided to get her face blown off. People were raging that being hit by a car isn't that big of a deal. And then today, some guy with a freaking Trump thing on his car Trump flag ends up showing up to a freaking high school over in Nebraska to a protest because got to let the kids protest. Got to let the high school, can't let them learn, got to let them protest. If you guys haven't seen some of the crap that I'm about to talk about today, I promise you you're going to want to stick around because this is going to be ridiculous. We got two different angles of this madness. And then speeding off, he's just out, baby. He's like, you know what? I can't hang around. AP Payne, I want to thank you, sir, for coming in and gifting out 10 Speak the Truth memberships. And Tijuana Border Jumper says, Taca, Baja, California, Mexico as the 51st state. Take Baja, Mexico. Wow, man. Yep, see, it's a good thing I disassociate with you guys today because now I'm making you all look bad. Here's the other angle of it actually going down. Hold on. Give me a second here. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we get this up, and I'm just gonna put it down in slow-mo. Let's just play it at 50% speed, mute that sucker, and then get it up on the screen. That way it stays nice and big. As the video starts to play, you can see idiots running up in front of the car with signs. Just sprinting in front of it. Look at the fat lady just gets right in front of it. Boom! Doop, doop, doop. I don't know if that's a high school student. I don't know if that's a teacher. I don't know who it is. No idea. You literally ran head on into a moving vehicle with a sign. Waving a sign. You ran head on into a moving vehicle. And you're obese. And I don't mean to sit here and rag on all of America today, but I kind of do. Because it is beyond embarrassing the crap that's going on. This literally took place on the floor of the Senate today. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Senator Dick Durbin.
Hear you deliver it. Thank you. Mr. President, earlier this month, the nation watched in horror as social media was flooded with images and videos of a federal immigration officer shooting and killing an American citizen, Renee Good, as part of the Trump administration's military enforcement operation in Minneapolis. Now, fresh on the heels of that tragedy, another one has struck. This weekend, federal agents gunned down yet another American in Minneapolis, Alex Preddy, a 37-year-old ICU nurse at a VA hospital in Minneapolis. I'm going to show a photo of that scene, which is graphic, but I'm afraid it's necessary to appreciate the horror of the moment.
It's so graphic. Look at that poor ICE agent. He had his entire head cut off by that man's hand. Entirely graphic. And he's staring right at the dang thing. Look how big that is. You mean to tell me that not a single person that printed the photo, that brought it to him, that saw him carrying it around the Senate, nobody went up to this man and was like, hey, dude, you know that's not a real photograph, right? You're just going to go throw that out there in front of the entire world. Incog Faraday coming out, gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Thank you very much, sir. Old Man Y says, I will never be ashamed to be an American. I can be ashamed of how the country has been over the last 15 years. You know, I got people going, I saw it in the comment section. Look at you, bro. You went off the deep end. No, I didn't. No, I'm simply sitting here giving you guys an honest take of what's going on. How can you be proud to have this man representing any state, any whatsoever in this country? How did we get to a point in our country where we have people this dumb standing in front of the Senate? Like, does he not, like, very good promotion for why maybe we ought to have some term limits and maybe some age limits on our elected officials, right? Very good, useful tool here for you guys to take for later on. But for the love of God, you got to be kidding me, man. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh.
Streets of Minneapolis. In his right hand is his camera, left hand holding the ground. No gun, obvious.
No head.
effort to resist, obvious.
The agent. No hair.
This was a moment when this man lost his life.
Obvious.
He was characterized afterwards as an assassin.
Oh God, not an assassin. Dude, I can't do it with these people today, man. And he's just going to sit there and he's going to rage for days. 8 minutes this old man rambles on. 8 minutes. There's no head. There's not a freaking head. Incog says, only thing good about Durbin is he's retiring. Well, hopefully Mr. Durbin does in fact retire, because this is freaking shameful. Who does this? Like, and nobody stopped him. I'm pretty sure they've got AIDS. How do they not have freaking AIDS, man? Like, they have to have freaking AIDS in the Senate. Like, somebody, I know he didn't print that off himself. The only thing that could have been more embarrassing is if he walked up with this freaking sucker. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that he ended up losing his life. You can see his hands on the ground. He's got his phone, but of course, the Muppet agent in green ended up shooting him, and the other guy is just missing his head. Like, I swear to you, man, people will push anything these days. It's disgusting. Fluffin' McPuffin says, space gun, cyborg leg, stone boot, left corner. I can't, man. Then we have this that was floating its way around, and it made its way extremely viral. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that Alex Preddy is a nurse that was treating veterans and helping them to heal. This right here is where it came from. Yep. Nurse training our veterans, helping them heal. Let's take a second here and just use some judgment. Something looks off in the background. Can anybody pick out what is absolutely off in the background here? Anyone at all? Anyone? Let's go over to the American flag on the wall and count some stripes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, somebody please remind me how many stripes the U.S. flag actually has. Anybody at all? I know the Europeans probably know, but do the Americans even know at this point? 13. 13 stripes are supposed to be on that flag. And then we can go with the man was not even a freaking rehabilitation nurse or what the hell ever. Like, he didn't even work in this area of the hospital. This wasn't what he did at all. And by the way, one of his colleagues ended up coming out today saying that originally he felt bad for the guy for getting killed. And then he remembered that he's kind of a piece of crap and he's a crap coworker and he was a crap nurse. Sky God coming in, gifting out 20 Speak the Truth memberships. And Alive Animal says, how does this pic shown in a Senate have a higher resolution than the original video? 13. Thank you, Tom Bones. Man, it's just nuts to me. Again, we're just getting started at how dumb America is. You know, there's also a picture of this guy floating around that the mainstream media is using of like his nursing photograph that they totally doctored up. Totally doctored up. Gave him more freaking of a tan, like all sorts of crap, man. Like, this dude is white as hell. And let's look at his hair on top of his head right there. And then let's go back to our good friend, Mr. Durbin. Take another gander. I mean, what the hell, man? Like, I personally do not understand what's going on here. And they're still trying to paint it out. And this is the other thing that killed me. They are still trying to paint it out as if this man, for some reason, was challenged and killed because of his Second Amendment rights. And by the way, this isn't just like affecting the left. This is also like something from the freaking right that's going around. Love her to death most of the time, some of her takes and stuff like that, but she goes by the patriotic blonde, and now I got to question whether or not she's actually a freaking shill. This question that people are going around asking, like so many people are losing their minds over it, screaming, it was the Second Amendment that was under attack. It's not illegal for him to carry a firearm to a protest. And we can blame Kash Patel for that. We can blame Donald Trump for that, which, by the way, if you haven't heard the freaking clip of, you know what? No, I have to, because this is why I'm getting absolutely freaking ticked off. I totally forgot that this exists, of Kash just being a moron. How Kash Patel decided to claim that for some reason it's illegal for him to have that firearm on him. What did I play that last night? This man pisses me off. Like at this point, this is the freaking director of the FBI. Freaking director of the FBI.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple. You don't have that right to break the law and incite violence. We will, of course, always protect your First Amendment speech. And if you...
Absolutely unreal. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, our most prestigious law enforcement agency in the United States of America, cannot even get constitutional rights under control. It doesn't matter if he was carrying constitutionally or not. That's another stupid thing that people are trying to jump out after this guy. I don't give a damn if he had his license on him. I don't care if he had his permit on him. That has no bearing on the circumstance whatsoever. It doesn't matter. He doesn't, like, the cops, listen, if the cops went up to him because he had a gun on him, which they didn't, then we could have that conversation. But that's not why they contacted him. That's not why they went to go arrest him. That's not why they did any of that crap. Dude, it was moments before he got shot that anybody even knew he had a gun. The first time that freaking ICE got in contact with him 2 weeks prior when he had the gun on him, nobody even noticed. And we let him kick out a taillight, spit on a federal agent, and drive away, man. Holy freaking cow, baby. Armed Opinion says, sending an SOS from VA, Abigail Scamberger, is going to ruin our state. Yeah, they all are, man. How's your electrical bill treating you over there in VA? I heard you guys got like a 3x increase. Man, pretty good. Not bad. Well, I would tell you to work it off by getting yourself a government contract, but judging by your comment, I got a feeling you're a white guy and you can't get a government contract in Virginia for under $100,000 if you're a white man, unless you're the only one that bids on it. Huh? Oh, man. Eric Schneidensticker. Oh, man, the ignorant politicians that will use that photo and get a pass on it. WTF. Well, they're all using it, bro. They're all using it in there. Like, so many people, and it's just floating around everywhere. Hydra Slayer, thank you for all that you do. Keep up the good work up here in Montana, and we are having people protest about Minneapolis, and it's ridiculous. In Montana? Do you guys even have enough people to form a protest in Montana? Jacob Neighbor coming in, gifting out a Speak the Truth membership. Thank you very much, sir. And, oh man, everybody's just going to town tonight. Jude Chase, nobody can take America by force. They will take it by indoctrination. Want to make a bet? They don't need to take it by force. We just let them walk right in. Again, embarrassed a little bit to be American. Played it last night. Let me play it again.
About the actual border. People are still coming. And as you brought up, the Mexican army's coming through. It's insane.
Yeah, let's go ahead and throw that picture up on the screen of the blurred out image that you ended up sharing over on social media so the folks at home can see this. And it's blurred out for a reason. Came from a...
They'll never take us by force, huh? Mexican army walking right in. I don't have to play the entire clip again. If you guys need it, you can go over to my page and grab it. Mexican army rolled right in the other day, dude. Nobody cares. The Mexican army shaking door handles on U.S. soil should be front page frickin' news. People should be like, dude, what the hell? Nope. Trash Can Man says, as a father, any ideas how to help instill patriotism and pride for our country and our kids, regardless of the circus that is our government? Yeah, 100%. This is what I do. And I've been doing this with my daughter because I love her to death, sweetheart. And if you're watching, you know daddy loves you. She came home. Well, she didn't come home. We were riding in the car, and she said that she took a test at school, and the test at school basically told her that she was more liberal. And so I started questioning her liberal beliefs and started explaining certain things, such as in certain states, you can get an abortion legally, but if you're on your way to go get an abortion and a man shows up with a gun and shoots you in the stomach and kills your child, then he gets thrown in jail for early termination of life and or murder, depending on the state it happens in. So in one case, it's a life, and another one, it's not. That doesn't make any good sense whatsoever freaking ever. I asked her about deporting illegals. She's like, yeah, they should be deported. I want the illegals, aliens deported. They're here illegally. I mean, right? And from now on, every single week, we have a plan where she's going to lay out one of her, whatever it is, I'm making her defend it. Whatever you think your most liberal belief is, you're going to take it, you're going to lay it out, and you're going to defend it. I do that. And then I go to show them that now both the right and the left are retards, and that we are going to start working on being a critical thinker in this world. And you decide whoever it is that you want to vote for, not by a political party, because that makes you stupid, but based on what you believe and who might actually stick up for it. That's what I would do, my friend. That's what I would do. And we've got Jacob Neighbor says, we have to flee if able in Connecticut. You're not going anywhere, man. Yeah, I mean, y'all are stuck. Austin White coming in giving out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Thank you. Old Man Y says, what do you think the course action to start the resolving this should be? What should be the course of action to resolve it? Holding people accountable and enforcing laws. We have to hold people accountable and we have to enforce laws. Last figure, I heard Trump say, 20 billion in fraud over inside Minnesota. If we don't start enforcing the laws, 20 billion, man, 20 frickin' billion. We can't let people get away with that. The judges, for example, that are refusing to do their job, we ought to take these like frickin' federal judges, impeach their butts and get rid of them. The ones that are literally overextending their power. Of all people in the judiciary system that should know the extent of their power, it should be a judge. Every single time a judge overreaches because of their political beliefs and they abuse the bench, they should automatically be removed. And I'd almost say that they should be hit with a freaking crime for abuse of power. A cop cannot go do whatever the hell they want behind the color of the law and claim that and go, oh, I didn't know any better. No, they know exactly what their job is. We should hold judges to the same freaking account. And same things when it comes to politicians. That's why I support these idiots on the Sedacious Six. They want to go around and be like, we just told them they could refuse illegal orders. You know exactly what the hell you were stating and what you were doing. Austin White coming in gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Sky God says, well, if they are the one of the blessed Trump tots, the left, then let the portfolio and the capitalism just speak for itself, right? Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up. And do you know what that money, you know who's going to be in charge of the investment of that, who Trump's currently looking at? Robin Hood. the investment app that you can go on. Yeah, Robinhood. That's who they're looking at actually taking over those portfolios. I just thought I'd let you know. It's not like there's anything else maybe that might be a little bit better for us to invest in at this day and age. I couldn't think of anything better, Sky God. Maybe something that you could buy at Costco that might be worth a little bit more. Gold, for example, is sitting at 5,169. Silver is at 112. Platinum's all the way up at 2,500. Don't invest in anything that actually makes sense, though. Give it to Robinhood. I'm sure nothing corrupt is going on there whatsoever. And then, on top of us letting all of these illegals into the country and everything else, we're going to make it even easier for the illegal immigrants inside of our country.
What do you think about Republicans in the House talking about attaching the SAVE Act to the DHS funding bill if it is amended?
Well, I think it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's consistent with what we've seen. They just sent the FBI to raid Fulton County election office there. So I'm not surprised. They want to make it harder for people to vote, and they want to continue, Donald Trump's, bullshit story about how his election was stolen in 2020.
And what do you make? So you're against proof of citizenship or identification to vote in elections?
Hey, no, that legislation, has it is an effort to make it hard for Americans to vote. What do you make of direct?
That is the exact opposite, numbnuts. It is not an effort to make it hard for Americans to vote. You wouldn't take that and go, well, every time we demand ID when somebody buys a gun, it makes it harder for Americans to buy firearms. But in order to make them vote, we just got to let everybody do it. No, making people provide identification makes it hard for illegal aliens to vote. That's who it makes it hard to vote. But he says Americans. Like, you ever want to be gaslit? Seriously, like, just go listen to politicians on the left or the right. Just go listen to them. We want to make it, they just want to make it hard for Americans to vote. And at the same time, God forbid, they double check that fraud hasn't taken place because a judge found probable cause, signed a frickin' warrant. You want to claim it's some frickin' massive conspiracy. A judge found probable cause, dude. A judge found probable cause. Likely how you're going to get in trouble for the words that came out of your mouth. How you're going to get tried. Hopefully you go to court-martial. Hopefully they strip you of your rank, everything else. Jude Che says, proves my point. We have been indoctrinated that it's no big deal to have Mexico come into California and the UN make our pew-pew laws. We need to wake up. Yeah. I'm with you, man. They shouldn't be screwing with our gun laws at all. It drives me nuts. Jacob Baber. Did I read that wrong? Neighbor. Excuse me. Gifted out Speak the Truth membership. Thank you. Live Animal says, if we surrender to the Dems when they don't have any power, imagine what they'll do if they come into power. Time to go all in. We won't get another chance. And you guys remember the government shutdown, like just the other day that we had, what was it, October? Back in October, huge government shutdown. Guess what? They're trying to do it again. Yeah, our government can't even get anything done because they don't like people voting. They like with ID. They're pissed off that the elections may or may not have been rigged. And so, because Trump's deporting illegals and they want to defund DHS, they're going to shut down the entire country again. They're going to go back to harming their own constituents and treating them all as cannon fodder yet again. Old Man Weiss says, is no one looking in to see if ICE has a leak? Why is there always protesters around ICE? Oh, Old Man Weiss, you don't know this. Well, I guess that's why you're Old Man Weiss. They have an entire network, Old Man Weiss. An entire network that has political officials on it, license plate freaking lookups, which we're going to get to in just a second because it looks like Homan might have actually crushed that. They have a dispatcher. They have rapid response units. All of this other crap, man. And they've been blowing it up. And I understand that some of you guys just tend to get it from me. And I'm like, dude, the thing is widely covered everywhere else. Maybe I'm not going to talk about it. But it has been blowing up. And a lot of people have been implicated. A lot of really important people. I talked about it actually one night. Maybe I need to get back on it. I got to touch on it here in just a sec. But that's how they're doing it. They literally have a massive organization. They have fundraisers. They have all sorts of crap, man. And that's how they get on them so fast. They have retards just sitting and laying in wait around the city in their freaking cars with their little rape whistles in hand, waiting to go over and just shout and honk horns and obstruct. That's how they get there so quick. And they're sitting there and they literally drop them pins. They have people like the pins that they drop to let them know they're responding. And then they go into the chat group and they can hear dispatch and everything that's going on from the morons on the left that are on the ground, reaching out and telling them what's happening. That's how it goes down. Another excuse to be like, I don't know how much I love America today. Here's one.
It's disgraceful. She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ice permanently. She's got to go. And by the way, she's not the only one. It's disgraceful.
She got to be put on ice permanently. What's that sound like to you? To me, it sounds like he's calling for her to be killed. Got to put her on ice permanently, he says. And then he gets asked about it later. How do you think him asking about it later went?
Jeffries, do you have any regrets about the way you phrased the comment about Secretary Noem earlier today?
I've been very clear as it relates. Who are you, by the way?
Fox News, Bill Moore.
I've been very clear about the fact that Secretary Noem should either be fired or we will commence impeachment proceedings. What is unclear about that? That's what I've said.
Well, saying she should be put on ice permanently, don't you think that doesn't...
No. Go question the president about what he had to say.
Oh, don't talk about what I said. Talk about the president, about what he said about Ilhan Omar. Let's bring up Ilhan Omar with the whole staged freaking like water being squirted on her yesterday. Abby says, one of the funniest posts I've seen in the last few days was illegals are just a clump of cells. That's actually hilarious. I really like that. I really like that post. All right. Well, Mr. Jeffries isn't done because here we go.
About Ilhan Omar. Go talk to the president about the fact that he threatened the execution of 4 members of the United States House of Representatives who...
More gaslighting. He didn't threaten their execution. He quite literally quoted the law and the penalty for what they did. Not threatening execution. There's the law and the penalty for what they did.
Served this country in the military, or 2 members of the United States Senate. Don't talk to me about something where you know I've been very clear about what I've said, that Kristi Noem should be fired because she's out of control. And if she's not fired, we're going to commence impeachment proceedings. What's unclear about that? Well, something ambiguous about.
That's not what you said, jerkwad. You said put her on ice permanently, dude. How do they get away with this crap, man? It's appalling. Absolutely appalling, man. Ooh, BMX dad, can you play the clip of Hakeem Jeffrey saying, "I'm dead serious, Kristi Noem needs to be put on ice permanently"? That's an obvious D threat. I literally just played it. Maybe you sent that before and I missed it. Jim O'Rourke in the house. Jimmy coming in giving out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. What's up, buddy? Lambo says, big ask, but don't need to mention pray for my wife. Gosh, oh no. Lambo. Dang it, man. Yes, prayers will be coming. You know, everybody, you go ahead and bow your heads and pray for Lambo and his wife. Lord, we ask that you look over Lambo and his wife and everything they're going through and bring them peace. And we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. STRC says, loudest guy in the room is the one lying. I tend to agree. Lazarus, Karlin Borsenko, has all of the signal chats from the last few months and the organizations they're tied to. I also ended up seeing a training manual. I thought about going through their training manual tonight with you guys and pulling up the videos and stuff like that that they have in the different training manual. It's freaking ridiculous. Incog Faraday says, Timu Obama forgot his sombrero. Eric, sounds like an unalive threat to me. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And it's the same crap that the Sedacious Six did, where they give a little innuendo. a little innuendo of what it is, but just enough so that they can be like, that's not what I meant. You guys don't, that's not what I meant. That's exactly what that is. They're pretending to not know what they said when they know dang good and well what they meant and what it means. Then we have this. Let's go ahead and bring up this gigantic chunk of blasphemy and poor religion. Anybody notice anything about this? Am I the only one that notices something going on here? Take a look at that, audience. And then I'm going to touch on what's hanging out up front here. I don't know what's with the guy without his shoes on and just freaking socks sitting up on the stage. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that. So now you're just going to go up there without your shoes and socks. Notice the overabundance of women in this church. Anybody? This is Minneapolis again, by the way. Wait for it. I know I don't need to tell you guys that the signs say ice out. But yeah, pretty much everybody up on the stage there, women. Look at the massive amount of women inside of here. Who thinks that this is staged? Who? Anybody? And notice the vast majority of people inside of this crowd. You've got nothing but a bunch of old women and maybe an old man that hasn't died from dealing with their liberal crap. Zachrabin. Is all the signal chats created by all the idiots in Minnesota a crime? I'm ignorant to that, but to me, it seems like it would tie into interfering with an investigation. Yeah, it depends on what they're doing on there. It depends on what they're putting out. But don't worry, because I got more for you coming up in just a second. Dale says, as a cop, it's a threat against a government official. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Duh. But they get away with it all the time, man. And they claim some type of freaking immunity or whatever. Finally, somebody said it down in the chat section. Lesbians. Bingo. That's my take on it. And I love the comment. What in the actual, yeah. Why the F do super chats autocorrect to the point I can't say what I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Pat says, it really seems like we are at a point of no return with the division in the country. Will anything ever return to how it was a decade ago? I pray that it does. I really do. But yes, you have nothing but a bunch of lesbian Karen crusaders. And then the person leading this entire show here, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm seeing. But it's clearly staged, all of it. Particularly for this video, for me to sit here and rage about, and for everybody else to do it too. People are going around calling this a protest, and so that's the other reason why I absolutely hate brainwashed Americans, because they see this and they're like, "Oh my gosh, a bunch of lesbians ended up taking over a church in Minneapolis again." No, they didn't. And I don't even know if this is a real church, but I do know how much that pipe organ costs. So let's touch on that here in just a second. I'm sorry, Matt Army Vet. I'll go back and take a look. Matt, you missed my 10 super chat about S.A. Judge. Uh-oh. All right, I'll go back and take a look. You guys know how much a pipe organ like that probably costs? That's up on the wall. And let's talk about what churches are supposed to do for the people. How much that pipe organ costs? You got your massive TV up there, massive cathedral, all this stuff. Not to mention, we're just spending a bunch of money on hearts and T-shirts and everything else to sit there and stage it. And it's look, you got one lady that's masked. It's a bunch of freaking lesbians. It has to be. Not to mention having like the female preacher and all that other crap like stand up there. But maybe she's just the worship leader, right? Maybe she's just the worship leader. But I guess having female leadership in church is okay over in Minnesota, where having lesbians in church is okay, where having everybody else is okay. That's just what they do. I don't know, man. Mad Army Vet, dude, I'm looking for it and I'm not seeing it. I really hope I didn't miss it. I'm trying, brother. I don't see you, brother. I'm trying. I'm trying, Mad Army Vet. It's not like I don't want to do your super chat, friend. I don't see it. Just tag me in the comment Tag me in the comment and tell me what it was so I can answer it for you. All right. Very sorry about that. I'm doing my best. Anyone notice a lot of ICE is black or Hispanic? Yeah. Do you know why? Because they probably pay extra money for Hispanic teachers. That's why. Or Hispanic officers, like if you're language proficient, etc. I don't know if you know this, but a ton of illegal aliens in the United States of America speak Spanish. They do. And so we want to have ICE agents that are of that language. Goodness. Oh, and then we have this. God forbid a black woman call out corrupt officials.
You will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that, on illegals. Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second. Stop her time. Stop her time.
Yep. Don't let her speak. Don't let her speak because she just called you out. She just called you out for wasting $500 million, 500 mil on illegal aliens in one little city. Pretty Eddie says there's a pipe in the lesbian church. Oh, thank you, Petty Eddie. That's hilarious. Thank you so much. Oh, and then let's go over to because I hated on it this morning, and for anybody that missed my rage this morning, I definitely have to get this up there because I couldn't believe this crap myself. Hopefully this is the clip that I was looking for. Yeah, here we go.
Professional agitators. I see courageous citizens who have a righteous indignation and a moral outrage when their city, and this is Prince's city now, the sign of the times, 1987.
Right, man.
When it's being terrorized, it's being traumatized. Communities are being vilified and demonized. Now, I come from a people who have been demonized and vilified and terrorized for 250 years in the American experiment.
Oh, for 250 years. He comes from a people that have done that. All right. Whole 250 years. A-type men in ICE. Yeah. Yeah. Ladies, go have babies with ICE agents, please. Do that.
That's what it is to niggerize a dignified black people.
New word.
Make sure that they are intimidated, terrified, full of fear, and not able to straighten their backs up. But thank God the Black Freedom Movement straightens our backs up. Well, what we're witnessing, and this is why the larger picture is important here.
Preach, brother, preach. This guy, I don't know if you heard the word, but he's going to use it again. And I got asked this morning what the word of the day was. He gave it.
Right on the edge cliff in terms of the possibility of America sustaining itself as a social experiment in the best sense, or just becoming an empire full of might and force. So when you niggerize a whole country, you start treating...
And look, everybody's just sitting there. You just niggerized a whole country. Dude, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. There's people that are actually out there soaking this up inside of America today. That super chat that came through earlier where somebody asked me if something is like, if we're beyond repair, at the point where you have a guy sitting at the table that is so socially untouchable that you can't be like, bro, you can't seriously just accuse the entire country of being niggerized live on TV, man. Like, that is preposterous. That is asinine. And you should never be allowed to speak in public again. Kevin Moen says, why does Cornel West always look like he just got struck by lightning? I don't know. And he's got his what do you call it, man? He's got his what's the name of the guy? The colonel from KFC. He's got like the same suit in reverse colors. Exit Man says their church is going to have to sell that organ when they lose their 501c exemption to pay taxes. Yeah, no kidding. Hold on. Let's finish learning how the United States got niggerized.
All of your citizens, the way black folk have been treated for 250 years. So when I see the police killing these two precious folks, Sister Renee and my dear brother Alex, and I've had so many partners killed by.
Might be my brother Alex. And then they put the white guy on the screen and be like, let's see how the white guy is reacting to America being niggerized. Because now he's a nigga too. Like, you got to be shitting me, CNN. Like, this can't be serious.
The police growing up on the chocolate side of town, right? What has been the response? Thank God for Martin King. How do we learn how to love in the face of this hatred? How do we learn how to fight for freedom for everybody in all parts of town in the face of all of this terror? And America now has the blues. If you don't learn something from the best of the blues people, we're going to lose the democracy. So this.
You know what Martin Luther King fought the rights for? People that were born in the United States of America to get their freaking rights, not illegal aliens. To compare illegal aliens breaking the law and crossing into our country and then putting this on CNN is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And this poor white guy is sitting there because he doesn't have the cojones to go, are you stupid? You can't seriously be this stupid. Have you really been this brainwashed to choke it down? And has this guy seriously been that brainwashed to where he doesn't go, well, he just said the whole United States has been niggized. I guess I'm a niggo too. And I can come on here and I can speak up now because we're all the same. Like you would think, man. Did Scott Jennings say anything? Not that I'm aware of. Nope. You would think he would, but no, not at all. Not at all. Matt Army Vet says, look up the SA Judge Rosie Speen Gonzalez philo charges on what she did in her courtroom to an attorney. No. All right. I'm going to copy and paste that for the next clip that I play. And then I'm going to look that up. That's ridiculous, man. That's nuts. I told you just to tag me in the comment, bro. I told you. Told you. I told you. Des Moines, Iowa is going to do a memorial bike ride for Alex Pretty on Saturday. Dude, I hope they do it naked. They're probably going to do it naked. You know there's going to be a naked bike ride in Portland too. Like in solidarity. Chris Filebach says, bro, I've got you in the background while trying to work, and now I'm stupider for hearing that guy pontificating. You're welcome. You are welcome, my friend. And you're welcome for the new word of the day. Because, yeah, hold on. There's a couple seconds left. He might have something dumb.
This is not just about meticulous details. We're talking about something huge at stake.
It does seem that we're
talking about something huge. And nobody is like, that is the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard. They'll sit there and like validate it and try to let this guy go off, man. So freaking like, how are you not offended by half this crap that I've put on the screen? So far, we've had lesbians in church. Let's not forget about that one. Just blasting out for illegal aliens. We've had Hakeem Jeffries calling for the death of Americans. Let's not forget about that. Other elected officials. We've had another idiot that's got his butt in trouble with the UCMJ saying that making voter ID it makes it harder for Americans to vote, for crying out loud. Holy crap. Yeah, that's right, Joshua. You earned that right. You raised that hand. You've been sitting here. Joshua, you've been sitting here underneath this oppressive United States government. You've been niggerized too, my friend. Holy freaking crap, dude. So ridiculous. We got people coming in with these dang freaking AI photographs, not just there either, you know what I mean? But we're putting them up in the Senate. Let's not forget about that. And everybody is just eating this crap up. Both the left and the right. Like, I can't even report on anything serious tonight because I'm so tired of all of this, the stupid crap that's in the media. Love of God. Love of freaking God. Whoever it was that was asking me about ice.net and whether or not it was illegal. And I told you that they have license plate trackers and all of that other stuff. Well, this has popped up over on the license plate tracker on ice.net. I am all for a good troll. I really am. All about a good troll. For those of you that can't read it, you might be listening. It's a thumbnail. It says, hello, stop ice.net. All of your logins, locations, passwords, and phone numbers have been given to the FBI and ICE. That's amazing. I'm super happy about that. Why? Because, I mean, maybe, just maybe, it'll cause them to stop doing dumb stuff and breaking the law, you know? But when you go over to the license plate tracker on there, they still have all of the plates up, but the thumbnail has just been replaced with Tom Homan threatening to go after everybody. And I love that. I love Tom. I love them for doing that. It's absolutely amazing. But maybe there's another way to handle it as opposed to hacking the website and just letting them know. I don't know. This is something, though, that I was actually happy to see. But again, you know how dumb Americans are and why I'm just like, this is out of control. These are federal agents that are well aware of these people breaking the law, and they have a conversation with her trying to tell her not to break the law. And I'm pretty sure, which I was actually happy to hear in this video, they told her that if she blows her whistle, she's going to get arrested.
No, that is not true. Yeah, don't be impeding our operations. You're following a state
No, you're not following a state
here all my life. I know how to drive in the snow. That is not true.
Do not impede.
I am not
impeding. You can peacefully protest all you want.
That is what we are doing. We are observing your actions, sir.
So you don't need to be freaking impeding us.
We are not impeding. We are observing your actions.
No, you're not observing.
At that point, we are not impeding. We are observing your actions as she sits there on her like high and mighty fat freaking body. Rip her out the car. You give warnings to people. That maybe learn their lesson that aren't going to do it again. We know for a fact. I mean, maybe she just reeks of McDonald's and he doesn't want it to, like, you know, you like put fast food in your car, like you don't get the stench out for days. Maybe that's the case. And he's like, man, if I put this chick in my car, I'm going to have to smell like a Big Mac for the next 3 freaking days. I don't want to smell that crap. There's fat ICE agents too, man. Put her in their car. Gosh.
That way we can tell if they are legal and you will be held up for your actions, sir.
Everything we do by the Constitution.
That is not true.
Title 8 enforcement.
Absolutely not.
Just because you don't like our laws doesn't mean that we can't enforce them.
You are not enforcing our laws, sir.
Anything you can blame Biden is you let millions of people.
Right there, that man should have ripped her ass out of the car. When she said, you're not enforcing our laws, I'd be like, cool, you're not a U.S. citizen. Get out the car, you're under arrest. That easy. That freaking easy, man. You're a freaking border patrol officer, man. Oh, these laws don't apply to you? They're not our laws? Because I'm a U.S. citizen. So I'm assuming you're saying you're not. That would have been the ultimate freaking G move, and he missed it. He missed the opportunity, man. Totally missed it.
That is so uninformed.
Like, why are we giving these people any freaking leniency whatsoever? And you know I can't rage without raging on this guy for a sec. I've been there was a time frame where I was giving a lot of credit to Trump. And lately, I've been hitting him pretty hard. Might do it again.
Have you had any conversations with Iran in the last few days, and are you planning on any?
I have had, and I am planning on it, yeah. We have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now, and it would be great if we didn't have to use them. Okay?
Can you say what the message was that you shared with Iranians?
Well, I told them 2 things. Number 1, no nuclear, and number 2, stop killing protesters. They're killing them by the thousands. You know, I stopped 837 hangings 2 weeks ago, but they're going to have to do something.
You know, I stopped 832 hangings a few weeks ago. You failed to mention the 30,000 plus that have been killed over there since. And also, you were convinced that Iran was going to stop killing its people because you warned them to do it. Now, I don't know about you, Mr. President, but me, knowing Iran, knowing the Ayatollah, knowing the IRGC, knowing that they do nothing but commit their lives to murdering people on every single continent on the planet, I would just assume that you would go, oh, you're going to stop murdering people? Great. and still send aircraft carriers over there, because right now we don't even have them in position yet. We're not even ready to beat the brakes off of Iran yet. You took Iran at its word, and you took Putin at his word, Lord only knows how many times, then landed him on U.S. soil, which I defended you for, shook the man's hand, and ended up walking away without yet another deal. I am just a little bit grumpy because I voted for peace through strength, which meant the first time back in June when you decided to bomb them, you should have bombed the living hell out of them. And I understand that the 30,000-pound bombs did some really big damage underground. But maybe telling Israel not to drop those last couple bombs might be a regret you're sleeping on right now. So if you would please drop every single one that you can this time. And hopefully we got enough silver left over afterwards to rebuild our arsenal. Ghost Hybrid said he's using the same tone of voice he did before the sky started missing pixels last time. He's just waiting for all the dominoes to line up. Yeah, man, it's been a month, dude. It's been longer, actually. I mean, it's just time. Like, and truthfully, we should have been bombing them when they were sitting over inside of Iran. After we bombed them the last time, screaming that they moved their enriched uranium and that we didn't affect anything. And then they sat over inside of the freaking UN and were bragging that they're going to continue to enrich uranium. Like the moment they sat in the UN and went, we're going to keep enriching uranium. I've been like, yeah, send it. Like that's peace through strength. Not going back and negotiating with them a million times, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just send it, dude. Just freaking send it. These IRGC vessels, they're sanctioned vessels operated by a foreign terror organization. Put a bomb on them and call it a day. Like, why are we risking U.S. sailor lives and everybody else? That'd be blown up right next to the drug runner vessels. It's the same as blowing up Al-Qaeda. Same freaking rules apply, man. Just do it. Just do it. That's my opinion. Just blow them up. Get them out. Get them out. Get them out. Get them out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that tonight I didn't niggize you too much. But you guys now know CNN says that you can all claim whatever you want on your forms because you've been niggeized over the last 100 years, 250 years. The government's just been tracking you down, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, peace, love, happiness, and God bless. Try not to get niggeized. I'm out of here.
Where you see professional agitators, I see courageous citizens who have a righteous indignation and a moral outrage when their city, and this is Prince's city now, you know, it's sign of the times, 1987. When it's being terrorized, it's being traumatized. Communities are being vilified and demonized. Now, I come from a people who have been demonized and vilified and terrorized for 250 years in the American experiment. You see, that's what it is to niggerize a dignified black people. Make sure that they are intimidated, terrified, full of fear, and not able to straighten their backs up. But thank God the Black Freedom Movement straightens our backs.
I'm sorry. I forgot. I've been niggeized. I'm finna get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all keep it real. See you on the next one.
Well, what we're witnessing, and this is why the larger picture is important here. We're at we're right on the edge cliff in terms of the possibility of America sustaining itself as a social experiment in the best sense, or just becoming an empire full of might and force. So when you niggerize a whole country, you start treating all of your citizens the way black folk have been treated for 250 years. So when I see the police killing these two precious folks, Sister Renee and my dear brother Alex, and I've had so many partners killed by the police growing up on the chocolate side of town, right? What has been the response? Thank God for Martin King. How do we learn how to love in the face of this hatred? How do we learn how to fight for freedom for everybody in all parts of town in the face of all of this terror? And America now has the blues. If you don't learn something from the best of the blues people, we're going to lose the democracy. So this is not